Hey YouTube, thanks for visiting my channel. So this is Chandan and you are watching the learning fields. Okay, so in this session we are going to discuss some last minute exam tips for the WBSET exam. Okay, 2023. Okay, so we all know the exam date is 9th January 2023. Okay, so today is 5th January. Today is 5th January. So 2 or 3 days left for the exam. Okay, so in this session we are going to discuss some topics of for both the paper of paper 1 and paper 2, that is our paper is mathematics. Okay, paper 1 is the general paper. Okay, so here we discuss how can we score more than enough for the in the paper 1 exam. Okay, and also we discuss for the case of paper 2. Okay, so if you anyone is there, please say me that audio and video are okay. Just a second, because in the last session I just take the live, but the case occurs I forget to connect the mic. Okay, that's why no audio comes in the previous video which I just take in 8:35 live session. Okay, so this is the repeating session and I deleted that session because there is no sound in that video. Okay, I just forget, so this is the case. Okay. So for first we comes to the paper 1. Okay, so first we comes to the paper 1. Okay, so I think you all are prepared the paper 1 very well, because we have questions and paper 1 and paper 2. Okay, so we have the questions of 100 marks in paper 1 and 200 marks in paper 2. Okay, and here we get 50 questions and here we get 100 questions. Okay, each question carries 2 marks and there is no negative marking. Okay, so in between these 2 marks, that is from 100 and from 200, based on the last 1 or 2 years, the cutoff marks vary from 150 to 160. Okay, so we have to score. How can we score this score in from paper 1 and paper 2? In my opinion, that from paper 1 to paper 2, because we are the CSI net, basically the science student are from are the aspirant of CSI net or GATE, and for the students of literature they also prepared for paper 1 very well, because they also have same paper in the UGC net exam. Okay, UGC net, but we don't have that paper, and they give this paper in the paper 100 marks questions. Okay, so this paper is easy for the students of literature. Okay, but we are from science background, we don't read this paper very we don't read this paper. Okay, so for that purpose we just read the important topics and we can easily score 50 to 60 in the paper 1, and I think this is more than enough for the our candidate, for the science background candidate. Okay, because the science background candidate are completely new in this paper or topic. Okay, and in this session if we score near about 100 marks, 200 to 120 or 110, then this is very easy to clear or to crack the exam. Okay, because the 55%, I think this is the qualifying marks. 55 to 56% is the qualifying marks for the WBSET exam for the general candidate. Okay, so if we score this paper 110, oh sorry 1, you can also score 100 to 120, then this is more than enough to crack the exam. Okay, or to pass the exam. Okay, so this is the okay, this is the key part. So this is the marks division or marks division you can collect. Okay, must marks distribution. Okay, you can collect from both the papers. Okay, now if we just go to the paper 1 and if we discuss for paper 1, okay, then there are 10 chapters in UGC net. Okay, there are 10 chapters. So because the syllabus is same with the UGC NET question paper. Okay, so there are 10 chapters, but we are from the mathematical background student and we are from the mathematics students, and basically those who are science student, we can target this part. Okay, one is mathematical reasoning plus DI, that means data interpretation. Here comes 5 questions, 5 fixed questions. Okay, and the level of these questions are easy to moderate. They don't give the high level questions of DI. And another one is, just a second, mathematical reasoning and aptitude, and mathematical reasoning, and second one is logical reasoning, some questions. But this chapter is big chapter, Indian logic, and some other topics are also included. But if we see these two, or if we can done these two topics, then we can get 10 questions. Okay, or 1 or 2 questions from logic, then we can easily answer 10 to 12 questions from only these 2 or 3 chapters. And these are easy because we are also if we are CSIR NET candidate, then we also prepared for the part A, or part A questions paper of CSIR NET, which comes in the CSIR NET 15 questions with 30 marks. So we did these topics for that purpose. So this is very easy, so you must target this topic. Okay, and DI is also data interpretation questions are easy to moderate. We can easily solve the questions of data interpretation also. And one more important thing is that from English, one question come from unseen. Okay, there is a given unseen, and you have to answer 5 fixed questions. So we can target this part, and these questions are also easy to moderate. Okay, you just read the given unseen passage, and you have to read, or you have to answer the given questions. I think 5 fixed questions comes in this topic. Okay, so this is also you can target. So we can easily solve I think 15 to 17 questions from these 3 or 2 topics. We have 15 to 17 questions. Okay, now those who are a B.Ed candidate, they can easily solve 1 or 2 questions from teaching aptitude, and from research aptitude 1 or 2 questions can be made. Sorry, teaching aptitude 4 questions, 4 to 5 questions. From research aptitude 4 to 5 questions. But these chapters are not so easy for ourselves, okay, for us, because I think the science background student do not read this chapter till now. Okay, because these chapters are not useful for us for our exams, but these are useful for CSIR NET exams. This is the syllabus, complete syllabus for UGC NET. Okay, for the literature case. But and one chapter also comes in higher education. These chapters are very big chapters, and questions are also some, I don't have any idea about these chapters basically. Okay, but I suggest you an YouTube channel. You can see the YouTube channel for your reference. I just say it. And for general purpose, we can target one chapter which is ICT. Okay, this is the information and communication technology. This chapter we can easily answer the questions, because in this chapter questions comes based on computer, based on mobiles, based on IP address. Suppose if we see the last year questions paper, okay, I think the voice assistant of Apple question it comes, and the technology which we use to share our internet one mobile to another mobile, which is hotspot, this type of questions, and correct IP address, this type of questions can be made from this chapter. And I think this chapter is easy to solve the questions. Okay, so from this chapter also 5 questions, approximately 10 chapters, and 5 questions from each chapter can comes. And some chapters from some chapters there are questions below 5 questions, and some chapters can be asked from some chapters greater than 5 questions. Okay, this is approximate idea. Okay, so we can target this chapter, information and communication technology. Those who have books, you must read this chapter, data interpretation. I think this part, mathematical reasoning, DI, and some logical questions, you can easily solve this question. So these 5 questions. So, and if you just a second, yeah, people development and environment. So I have this book for this purpose. UGC नेट का ये एक बुक है हरप्रीत कौर का, ठीक है, ऑक्सफोर्ड यूनिवर्सिटी स्पेस का। ये जो बुक है, इस बुक का जो सिलेबस है, यूजीसी नेट का सिलेबस है, यही मैं देख के आप लोगों को बता रहा हूँ कि यहाँ पे 10 चैप्टर्स है। एंड दोज हु आर दिस बुक्स, यू कैन questions, I practice some questions from any book. I have personally this book, so I share this. And one Bengali books also comes, I think अनिरुद्ध कायत का एक करके एक राइटर है जिनका एक बंगाली वर्सन बुक भी आता है, ठीक है। तो जिसके पास वो बुक है, वो बुक भी आप लोग देख सकते हो यहाँ पे, ठीक है। तो दिस इज द पर्पस, एंड so we can easily answer 25 to 30 questions from science background, okay. And some questions you can easily answer, logical questions, some logical questions, some general science questions also comes from any topics. You can easily answer these questions also, okay. So our target is 25 to 30 questions, but with perfect answer, okay. We need the 25 to 30 questions accurately, okay. The accurate level should be very high, okay. So we can get 50 to 60 marks from general aptitude, paper 1, okay. So this is the case. So this is the part. I don't recommend more thing for paper 1, and because I am also not preparing so well for the paper 1, okay. So this is the case, and I just share my opinion. And one more important thing, that for paper 1, this is my just an opinion. For paper 1, you can follow the YouTube channel. This is very good YouTube channel, I say. YouTube channel, which is literature study at home, okay. This is not a promotion, okay. I just say the honest opinion, okay. Literature study at home. In this channel currently one crash course is going on, okay. For 15 days crash course, the important questions for WBSET. You can check this YouTube channel for your reference, okay. I just refer that this is a very good YouTube channel, and the explanations are also very good for your exam, okay. So this channel can be very helpful for your exam. And those who are not visiting, I think many of you are already visit this channel or already follow this channel, but those who are not following this channel, I can give you one advice, okay, which is, see this channel, the owner of this channel upload the PDFs of the classes in his Telegram channel, okay. Telegram channel. So for those who are not watching any videos, I can suggest that you must check this Telegram group and download the PDFs of each classes, and you can practice the questions, because in the content or in the class note, he has give the answers also, okay. So you just read the questions and mark the answer, and the explanation are also given in the paper, okay. So this is very helpful, because in less time you can cover more than doing nothing, okay. So this is my suggestion. This is not any promotion, this is just my an honest opinion, okay. So this is the thing for paper 1. Now if we go to the paper 2, okay, that is our paper, which is math. So the syllabus of mathematics is very huge syllabus for this exam, okay. So first, if we comes, so 3 parts of mathematical science. So basically 2 parts, one is math and one is stat, okay. So from mathematics section 65 questions, and from stat section 35 questions comes in the exam, okay. And in the mathematical part, there are pure part, applied part, okay, applied part. So in the pure part, we have real analysis, obviously, real analysis, linear algebra, complex analysis, okay, modern algebra, and topology, measure theory, function analysis, these types of topics. Function analysis, this type of topics. These are the most important topics. And if we see in the last 1 or 2 year questions paper, then in real analysis 10 to 12 questions asked in real analysis section. Okay, in linear algebra 6 to 8 questions asked in the linear algebra section. In complex analysis 7 to 8 questions asked in complex analysis section. In modern algebra I think 5 to 6 questions averagely or approximately comes in the exam of WBSET. And topology, measure theory, and function analysis 10 to 12 questions comes in the exam. Okay, and I think these are this number is big. Okay, so these are the questions from pure part. And in real analysis you must read this topic, which are limit and continuity. You must revise once before the exam these topics. Okay, limit, continuity. Second one is sequence series. Okay, sequence and series, these are the most important chapters. Okay, and functions sequence of function and series of functions are also included in this topic. And the third one is what? Bounded variation. Okay, bounded variation, limit, continuity, and differentiability. Okay, so these 3 topics in real analysis are very important, and mostly you must revise once the section uniform continuity and uniform convergence. Okay, so the questions must make from this part. Okay, so if we see the linear algebra, then the most important topics, I just give you an idea about the exam. Okay, so from linear algebra the most important chapter is eigenvalue and eigenvector. Easy to easy questions and hard to harder questions can be made from this chapter. Okay, this is such a chapter that easy questions can be also made and harder questions can be also made from this chapter. The second one is must vector space, obviously, and the topics like diagonalization. Okay, diagonalization you must revise once, diagonalization. Number 4 is Jordan canonical form. This is also very important part. So these are the very most important parts of linear algebra, I think. And basis and dimension is also very important chapter. Okay, from dimension 1 questions must ask. Okay, basis and dimension. So these are the most important part of what? Of linear algebra. And in complex analysis you must revise 10 to 12. In the complex analysis we have 10 to 12 standard theorem, and based on that theorem the questions must ask in the exam. Okay, just like Liouville theorem, maximum modulus theorem, minimum modulus theorem, open mapping theorem, then Schwarz lemma, then argument principle, and Cauchy integral formula, Cauchy integral equation, these types of results and theorems, 10 to 12 important, most important theorems, Cauchy's theorem. Okay, this type of formula, and to find the residue, to find the value of the integral, this type of questions can be easily made, and these are the most important topic for complex analysis. Okay, so you can easily score here. These are the targets: complex analysis, linear algebra, and from 10 to 12 questions of linear algebra you can easily solve some questions of real analysis. And if we comes to the modern algebra, okay, so in modern algebra you must revise once the ring ring and field. Okay, ring field. ring field. These are the very important. You just read the most important and basic results of ring theory and apply this, okay, and formulas, okay. And group theory, in group theory also you don't need to go the deeper section of this subject. You just read the formulas and some results of group theory and ring theory. And this field theory is also important, just like order of the field. These types of questions are made, okay, in the exam. So you just see once these basic formulas and result include in these chapters, okay. Then you can easily answer some questions of modern algebra also, okay. Just a minute. Yeah, Biswajit, also easy one ICT. Yes. No, Biswajit, I am not a research scholar till now, okay. So I think this is a discussion class. You carry on, okay. You just see the class, okay. So ring theory, field theory. Now if we comes to the topology, measure theory and function analysis, we just read the basic results and theorems of topology. I personally don't recommend these topics, okay. And you can, if you are a student from pure background, then you must visit this part, okay. But I am not a pure mathematics student. I am a student of applied mathematics. That's why I do not have any, मतलब क्या है, मेरे को ज़्यादा नॉलेज नहीं है ये टोपोलॉजी, मेजर थियोरी एंड फंक्शन एनालिसिस का पार्ट में, ठीक है. तो यही है बात. And now if we go to the applied section of mathematics, applied section, okay, and the previous year solutions of all these pure math 2020 paper, I think, just a second, 2022 papers, 2020 papers and 2018 papers, solutions of the parts except this part are available in the channel. You can go to the playlist of West Bengal State Mathematical Science and easily find the videos regarding these papers, previous years papers, okay. So now we go to the applied section, some discussion on applied section. So from the applied section, first one is OD. You can easily solve the questions from OD, okay. And PD, from PD you can also solve the questions from PD. And number 3 is what, classical mechanics, okay, classical mechanics. And questions comes from solid mechanics also, that is quantum mechanics. 1 or 2 questions comes. I see the questions. Number 5 is what, numerical analysis, okay, numerical analysis. Number 6 is integral equations. Number 7 is calculus of variation. I think calculus of variation is also included in the syllabus, okay. And 7th one is what, Laplace transform. 8th Fourier transform. So 1 to 2 questions marks asked in the exam from Laplace transform and from Fourier transform. So I recommend you just see the basic result and definitions of Laplace transform and Fourier transform, then you can obviously solve this question. So target this part, obviously, okay. And ODE, in ODE 4 to 5 questions asked from ODE, 4 to 5 questions asked from PD, 3 to 4 questions asked in classical mechanics. From solid mechanics 1 to 2 questions, from numerical analysis 2 to 3 questions, in the integral equation 2 to 3 questions, calculus of variation 1 to 2 questions, and also LPP also 2 to 3 questions asked in the exam. So these are the questions, and these are all the targeted questions, okay, because from this part you can easily score the marks, okay. Okay, so for OD, the syllabus, the important parts are the as like CSR net. You just, if you are a CSR net aspirant or GATE aspirant, then you must answer the questions, the level of the questions below the CSR net level or below the GATE level, okay. So you can easily solve the OD. The standard questions of OD comes in the applied section of ODE. Okay, and in the or PDE section you can also solve the answers, the questions like CSR net and GATE, this level or below the level questions types are same question, and sometimes the questions of PYQs of CSR net are also GATE and are also common. Okay, the question, same question, they just take the questions from the PAPRCS papers and give the question in this paper. Okay, and classical mechanics, I take a class of classical mechanics, the most important topics of classical mechanics, and I think the class is very helpful and you can answer 3 to 4 all the questions of classical mechanics if you see the videos. Okay, so you can go to the playlist of West Bengal SET exam, West Bengal SET mathematical science, and you get the videos. One video, I think 53 minutes or 54 minutes, you must check once for classical mechanics, then you can get and 3 to 4 questions, you can easily solve the questions. Okay, I take the class based on this paper, based on the questions. Okay, and all the all the concept need for the for solving the West Bengal SET questions paper of classical mechanics, I all covered the things. Okay, and from solid mechanics, I thought some days ago to take a class, but this is not possible for me to take the class of solid mechanics, and I suggest you, those who are want to answer the questions from solid mechanics. Okay, the most important thing is Cauchy stress test tensor. Okay, strain or I think stress equation or tensor like this part you can get, you just see this part. Okay, so the questions comes in the exam, 1 or 2 questions in the matrix form, and the questions comes from this part. Okay, so this is the important part. So if this possible, then you can must check once, or you can must revise the questions, 1 or 2 questions, if you see any standard books and see some examples based on Cauchy stress and strain equation. Okay, principal strain vector, principal stress vector, these types of questions you can see in the questions paper also. Okay, so revise that part if possible. And for classical mechanics, this is very easy because I take a class on that. Okay, so you must check the question, check the class if you want to solve the questions of classical mechanics in the exam hall. Okay, so the next one is numerical analysis. The numerical analysis syllabus is very big. Okay, so I suggest that you just read the basic properties of our basic solutions of algebraic and transcendental equation, solution of ODE, this type of questions, linear equations, integration, these types of questions, and you must read this part. Okay, finite difference operator, because from finite difference operator the questions can be make the relation between the finite difference operator like shift operator, delta operator, okay, mean operator, finite difference operator. And relation between them. Okay, you must revise once this part. Okay, in the numerical analysis section, and the common method, the Newton-Raphson and the methods. Okay, in the integration, the RK2 method, Euler's method, these types of method you must revise once. Okay, I just see if anyone do any comment. No. So now if we comes to the integral equation, then the basic parts of integral equations like the Volta integral equation, Freedom integral equation, the eigenvalues, and the solutions of integral equations like Volta integral equation and Freedom integral equation. And I request or I suggest that you must use the Laplace transform for solving the Volta integral equation, obviously. Okay, and COB, in COB I think I don't get any questions of COB, but in the COB you just check the basic equations and basic problems of calculus of variation, you just check once. And if you see, and one more thing is that in all the topics, if you are a candidate or if you are aspirant of CSR net or GATE, then you must answer some questions, obviously. Okay, because the questions pattern like that, CSR net or GATE, and the level of the questions are less equal to CSR net. Okay, some question, because they can took some questions from previous year questions paper and just give in the paper. Okay, and Laplace transform, you just see the definition I just said above, definitions and some properties, some importance, some common problems of Laplace equation. If you take any books, then you must see some example of Laplace transform. I suggest that you see the examples. Okay, and then obviously you can solve the questions. Okay, and in Fourier transformation also the same suggestion. Okay, so these are the applied section of WBSET exam. Okay, I think all the important parts or important chapters are covered. If something is mistake by me, or I skip some topics or chapter, then please forgive me. Okay, because this is just a overall idea about the exam, the last minute suggestion about the exam, which are the most important, which have to revise mostly. This is the discussion on that. Okay, so now if we go to the statistics section, because the stat is also common paper of the WBSET exam. Okay, so I think the most students are from mathematics background, but just say something about statistics also. So in the statistics paper there are two parts, mathematical statistics and second one is applied statistics. So most important chapters in the or topics in the mathematical science, like estimation. This is a big chapter. Okay, statistical inference, estimation, like from MGF, moment generating function, from characteristic function, from basic theorems or basic results on probability. These types of questions can be made. Most important chapter is limit theorems. Okay, limit theorems. So central limit theorems, such as central limit theorem and Chebyshev's inequality limit theorems. These types of questions, inequality limit theorems and inequalities from from the distribution. Okay, the distribution is also very important chapter. In the standard or known standard continuous probability distribution, standard discrete probability distributions like Poisson and binomial in the discrete side, and normal is the most important distribution in the continuous distribution, from which questions can be made in the paper. And hypothesis was also, hypothesis, statistical hypothesis is also included in the paper of mathematical, in the section of mathematical section. Okay, and so I think these are regression, coefficient of regression. Okay, these are the most important topics. And in the applied statistics, the most and easy chapter is linear model. I already solved some questions of previous year of WBSET questions from linear model and regression. Okay, REGRESSIO and regression model also. Okay, the blue from the best linear unbiased estimator. I solved the questions paper. I think two questions paper, some questions from 2 year, and which include these questions, best linear unbiased estimator. And here the questions comes from also the efficiency, sufficiency, unbiasedness, and that topics also can be, questions can be made. And here most important theory is design theory. The question must comes from design theory. Design theory, then sampling, most important chapter, sampling, then multivariate normal distribution. The syllabus for the statistics is also very big syllabus. Okay, so as you must read or you must revise the topics. Okay, I think you all know that the statistics syllabus is also very big, because this is like the CSR net, and greater equal to, the syllabus is greater equal to as compared to CSR net. Okay, in this set exam. Okay, so because there some topics are not included in the CSR net, but these those topics are already also included, those topics also included in the set exam. Okay, so syllabus is huge syllabus. Okay, and I can say you that there is no limitations or no boundary in the syllabus. Okay, Biswajit Sarkar sir make a video on numerical analysis and abstract algebra for important formula only. Okay Biswajit, I try but देखता हूँ मैं, if possible then हो जाएगा, ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं है ऐसा. And I suggest you must watch my lecture series for GATE for the numerical analysis. You must be, yes, tomorrow. I think it will be possible, not possible. Okay, because the exam is on 9th and today is 5th January. Okay, so just Biswajit, I recommend you. Do you have any study material for CSR.NET? If you have the books of just a minute, if you have the books, info study books, then you must revise the important notes of that book. Okay, because for CSR.NET, if you have the books or PDFs, then you must check once the important result and important results and theorem for abstract algebra, because abstract algebra is also a very big syllabus. Okay, so I recommend you, if the books or if the copies of the books you have, then you just revise the books, because the book is very helpful for this exam. Okay, अच्छा ओके, दीप्स एकेडमी का स्टडी मटेरियल है, ठीक है, तो वो बुक भी आप देख सकते हो, दीप्स एकेडमी का, ठीक है. हाँ, दीप्स एकेडमी का बुक भी वेरी गुड बुक है, तो आप वो भी देख सकते हो, ठीक है. So this is the discussion on that, and just a second. Basically, if you have any other question, then you can post the question in the comment in the chat section. Okay, so these are my mainly important topics. I just take the sessions for just before the exam. Okay, and so this is the discussion. If you have any doubt, then you can post your questions or you can comment me in the comment section below. Okay. So thank you for joining this session, and hope the exam going well. I hope all the aspirants of West Bengal SET give their exam as best way you can. Okay, so hope for the best, and best of luck for your exam. Okay, so thank you for joining the session, and if this session is helpful, and if this session is helpful, then you please give a like to this video, or please give like to this session, and share with your friends, and please subscribe the channel. Thank you. Is there any other comment? Okay, I think we end the session. So this is the end of this session. Okay, so thank you, and मिलते हैं कोई नेक्स्ट वीडियो में, नेक्स्ट सेशन में, ठीक है. एंड वन मोर थिंग इज दैट आफ्टर कंप्लीटिंग वेस्ट बंगाल सेट, I continue the sessions for GATE numerical analysis. Okay, GATE NA, the sessions for GATE NA, and I think I will also continue the general aptitude part, the previous year sessions. We take I think 7 or 8 class for that, 5 classes for mathematics, and I think 2 class for statistics. 7 class I think I took the 7 class or 7 session I take. So we will continue after 2 or 3 days, okay, for the GATE exam. Okay, and if you have or if you need any other topic for the upcoming GATE exam, then you can comment me in the comment section below. I am trying to cover the I will also trying to cover the sessions for that topic also. Okay, so thank you, मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट वीडियो में. यहीं पे सेशन एंड करता हूँ, ठीक है.